Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over baby. Put the bread on me. Bet on my bacon, big and flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can. Yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, but the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'm a stab, no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. The Ferragamo stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Out there like a 9/11 folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead presses in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Patience thinner than a penny hoe.
Over here and empty your pockets. I don't do that. You're my prisoner. You do what I tell you. Get over here. He's gonna get nasty.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on second down is Darnold. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. In the wild card win last week, he had just 2 catches, and now he's got his first one here.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. up to the air. Darnold on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
On first down, Darnold. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Now Foreman. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's Foreman. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make the play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work his way down to the 16. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
All right, here we go.
It's a quarterback sneak. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. A wall of bodies there. Nowhere to burrow through the line on the quarterback sneak. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive.
Hey, check 51, check 51. Check 3. Spot that.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
12.
On second down, Wilson. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Eluding the pressure right. And the third down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And the Colts coming out now. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
No, check, Patriot! Gun!
2nd down and 10, Darnold. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Williams able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Darnold from the gun. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now it's the backup Bridgewater. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, now, look at 56.
A carry for Foreman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run with Foreman. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
No. Check. Patriot. Set. Green.
And they'll go on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Wilson dumps it off to Fournette. The ball comes out, and the Colts pick it up. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
On first down, it's Darnold. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Tempo, baby. Let's go. Let's go to work. Come on.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Let's go, 14. 19. What's left?
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Front left. Right, easy. Check 51. Gotta go. Let's go. 4 down. Come on, in and out. Come on.
Now it's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he gets it down to the 32. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Hopkins' kick is good. So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On second down, here's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Here's Darnold now on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Brandon Williams, a big tackle, gets him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Darnold. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Deontay Foreman, the intended target, out of the backfield. Third down here.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Colts on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. The shotgun snap for Darnold. Powers through. He sets to fire deep. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. This is taken at the 15. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Crash down, crash. Boom!
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, we got three. Be alert.
To throw is Wilson. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
They run again with Foreman. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And that almost makes it a brand new ball game. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll run it here. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Back now here on EA Sports. A big play, 3rd and 2. This crowd dying for a stop. Again, it's Foreman. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. 23 yards on the play. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Colts on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, 4th down now.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
That goes for a gain of 31. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Man open. It's Goodwin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 24. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
A run by Foreman to start the drive. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And they'll go on the ground. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Darnold. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gross. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Try the ground game here with the running back. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The Colts on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5.
Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. So they file for the exits here in silence. And what a job to come in on the road, divisional round of the playoffs, and you get to end it by going down to a knee.
Now their confidence has to be at an extreme high. That's 2 weeks in a row they've gone on the road and gotten it done. They don't care where they go. From here on out, they think they can beat anyone.
And looking at it from the perspective of the losing side here in this divisional round, it all ends so abruptly, doesn't it? A few hours ago, you've got all this hope and anticipation of maybe a deep run, and now you're out of it.
Well, let's applaud the team that won, and rightly so. They're moving on. They still have a chance to get to the big game. But let's not bury the team that lost. I think I do a lousy job of illuminating what a great year they had. Let's face it, when it's all said and done, they were one of 8 teams left with a chance to get to and win the Super Bowl. That's a pretty darn good season.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden NFL. With that, we say